Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm kind of using a YouTube tag questions, and hopefully it's not going to be too boring or too long. So let's get started. What's your name and the name of your channel? My name is Linda, and the name of my channel is called Janet and George. Janet and George is also a website, janetandgeorge.com, which is a platform which I founded. And the meaning of the names is basically the names of my parents, mother and father. They are both deceased. And as a kid, I always wanted to set up a business with my father's name. So in 2008, when my mother died, I felt compelled also to kind of add to her legacy. And so I combined both their names, the first names, and called it Janet and George. Where are you from? I'm from, this is such a strange question because right now I'm kind of searching like, okay, where am I from? But originally I'm from Ghana. I grew up in the Netherlands. And the Netherlands was basically the place I called home until I was moved out by a company I was working for. And since then I've kind of been traveling and still searching for the new home. Rotterdam is where I called home for many years and grew up. At that time it was literally the best place to be. I think the first 3 years when I was living in London, I couldn't compare anywhere to Rotterdam. I lived in Brussels before, but nothing was comparable to Rotterdam. It's just, that was home for me. Why did you start a YouTube channel? Well, I'm starting a YouTube channel right now. To kind of document my journey. It has been rocky, and I feel really compelled right now as I'm going through transition phase, and I feel like I'm almost there where I need to be. And I just wonder if there are more people like me who are starting a business and the day-to-day struggles and how you keep yourself motivated despite that everything is working against you. And that you still keep going and hope for the best, that your dreams and visions and goals that you have will eventually all come together and that you will reach where you want to be. So, what will my channel be about? I guess my channel, hopefully, it won't be too political because I'm quite political in terms of Africa and whole worldview and what is happening in the world, like the injustice that is happening. So I will try to keep it light. My channel will definitely be about my journey in terms of how to build a business, my journey into discovering Africa and myself within Africa. Although I'm African, I grew up in Europe, and Europe has been the only home that I know and the only kind of you can't really say nationality, but what it is what it is. So I'm trying to discover my African roots and what it means to be African, and how to shed off my European way of thinking and European way of doing things. And hopefully I will find myself during this journey. My platform will aim at people who are also going through a transition phase in life, either personal or in business. So when you are starting a business, what are the hurdles that you go through and how do you overcome those hurdles? Financially wise, private, personal life, and all the emotions and the hard work, sleepless nights, the dreams, the continuous reinventing yourself. I think these past 5 years that I've been in London, I've been constantly reinventing myself, that right now I literally don't know who I am. The only thing I know is I have this dream and I can't stop working for it. And I hope there are people out there who feel the same way and who also have a dream and they can't stop working for it. And I definitely encourage you to not stop working for it, despite if it feels like the whole world is against you. So this question, I will change it from who inspired you to start a channel into who inspired you to start a business. I've always wanted to have my own business since I was a child, and I always said I want to be a businesswoman in a man's world. And somehow I ended up in HR, human resources, and I think it has been a really wise lesson for me. I'm still in human resources. That's how I make my living, basically, on a day-to-day basis. And I guess human resources literally teaches you how people are, how to read people, and kind of read the patterns that they go through life. And I think if you stay long enough in this industry, it also teaches you actually that there are more bad people around than good people. And I truly hope with this business that my point of view will change about humans or humankind. So 3 reasons anyone should subscribe to my channel. Well, I guess it's a journey that we can go through together. So the main reason to subscribe is just see how somebody else is doing everything that they are going through while they are building a business, and maybe you are going through the same thing, and we can liaise and learn from each other. And I guess YouTube is a really good platform. I normally don't like to put myself out there. I'm currently on my bed because I was overthinking it. My first video, how it should look like, oh, it should be so perfect. So I decided, okay, enough is enough, just do it. And so, yeah, the most comfortable place is on my bed. That's why you are seeing me this way, and I'm shooting this with my phone. So, sorry for the lighting, and if I also kind of look like a mess. 3 things you should know about me. I'm determined, ambitious, and a fighter for justice. I want to impact the community that I'm serving, and that is the African continent. I think I can best tell about why I got so inspired actually to focus on Africa. In 2015, I got so frustrated with all the news that was happening. The people dying in the Mediterranean Sea and seeing the dead bodies, like, people don't really care, you know? I keep thinking, like, why are these people making this journey just to reach the shores of Europe? And then, if they are not lucky, they drown. And women, children, young men. I mean, Africa is a continent where 70% of the population is younger than 20. So can you imagine if the whole of Africa is like trying to migrate because of the conditions that they are in, and the governments are not helping? So what can we do? It's something that I think about every day. It frustrates me when I see that happening. And yeah, it's just too sad. Like, life is so unfair. So why should they go through this? And I mean, nobody will leave their own country. to go into another country where they are not respected and where they will have like mediocre jobs. So my main reason is literally to start this company, and hopefully I can help 1 or 2 people to change their lives, and then maybe from their side they can also change others' life, and so on. So this is something that I'm really passionate about, and I will do anything to make an impact on this world and change people's life for good. So if I see myself being on YouTube for a very long time, I don't know. I will see how it goes. Again, I really hate to be in the spotlight. I'm not a person that likes to seek for attention. I guess, I don't know. Growing up in the Netherlands, I always felt like really self-aware. I grew up in an environment where most of the time I was the only foreigner or the only black person. So I was always pretty much self-aware about everything. So I don't need to seek attention. The attention will seek myself. So yeah. So I don't know how long I will be on YouTube. Any advice or tips for others who are just starting a business or even YouTube? Well, Nike says it best, just do it. I mean, if you let your life lead by fear, you will not get anywhere in this life. That's one thing I learned. I think when my mother died, things changed. Already I was working on my first business, which was a recruitment agency that I set up in Rotterdam. And then she died, and it actually motivated me even further to kind of keep going and try to build something which will again impact. But right now, what I want to do is to create employment in Africa. And it's not just where my mother comes from or my father comes from, but for the whole of Africa. I call myself a Pan-Africanist, meaning that everywhere in Africa I should be able to call home, and every African person are my brothers and sisters. So they are my family. So for a good family, you do everything. So yeah, that's my first video. Thank you for watching. I recently also went to Ghana, so I'll be uploading some videos down the road. And I'm planning to visit all of the African countries, Sub-Sahara Africa, and hopefully to find talents that I can work with. So if you are a fashion designer or you have a brand which is up and coming, reach out, and who knows. Thanks, bye.